In this episode, we're answering the question, what is SEO and how does it work on YouTube? You've heard of SEO, but on YouTube, maybe it feels too technical, too advanced, or maybe something that only big channels need to worry about. The truth, most people actually misunderstand how simple SEO is on YouTube. And because of that, they're missing out on one of the most powerful ways to build their business leveraging YouTube search. In this episode, we'll unpack what YouTube SEO actually means, why it's nothing like going viral, and how it can actually help small channels dominate YouTube and attract leads to their business. Let's dive right in. So let's first address a few of these myths that people have about SEO. Myth number one, SEO is too technical or complicated. Where this myth comes from is actually truth of the past. So website SEO was very complicated. Over a decade ago, I had a web design service and I had a service to get websites ranked at the top of Google. Now this service worked, but we had a whole checklist of things to do and a lot of things that we created outside of the website to get that website ranked number one. Today, a lot of people think that those tactics still work and that those tactics should be applied to YouTube, but don't do that. It doesn't help. That's actually good news for you. You'll understand by the end of this video how YouTube SEO is actually really, really simple. Myth number two, SEO is for Google, YouTube is for going viral. What's really interesting is that Google has really changed. So 10, definitely 20 years ago, Google was a website search engine, but today, it's a content search engine. So that's really changed the landscape of all of the internet. And Google owns YouTube, and YouTube is the best content platform. We'll add one more thing on top of that. YouTube has an amazing search engine. Compared to any other video or any social platform, their search engines are terrible. You cannot search for content on any of those search engines, so people know to use Google and YouTube to find content. So all you need to do is make the right type of video and you'll rank at the top of YouTube search and on Google search. Myth number three, SEO is only for big channels with lots of subscribers. Well, this is the strategy that's going to take a very small channel and turn them into a big channel. Now, we don't need to go viral. We don't need to be as big as Mr. Beast, but imagine if your channel attracted tens of thousands of people who've never heard of you before, but were searching for your help. They needed your help. They needed your services. YouTube search is the secret that's going to help a very small channel actually grow and grow in the right way. What does SEO actually mean, and does it apply to YouTube? So SEO stands for search engine optimization, really optimizing things for the search engine. Well, because Google is a search engine for content and YouTube is a content platform with an amazing search engine for content, all you have to do search engine optimization is create content that people are searching for. So in the past, you weren't creating content for people, you were creating content or creating spam to trick the algorithm, to find the loopholes. Those loopholes don't exist. The search engines have gotten better and better. In fact, AI is behind all these search engines. All you have to do is find what content your target audience is searching for and create that content. That is now search engine optimization. How do I get started with YouTube SEO if I'm a beginner? The key to SEO for a beginner is to do keyword research and find the questions that your target audience is asking. Now, I said that earlier in this video and I talk about it a lot on my channel, but keywords today are drastically different than they were even just 10 years ago. A keyword for website SEO meant a 2-word phrase or a 3-word phrase. Today on YouTube, you can dominate phrases like that when you start differently. You start with questions that are 8, 9, or 10 words long. So do some keyword research, find the questions that your target audience is asking. These questions need to have consistent search volume every single month, and start with the questions that are 10 words long. Let me show you a quick example. If you come to YouTube and you type in discipline teenager, you'll find Nicolene Peck ranking at the very top. So she is ranking for a 2-word phrase, but we did not start there. We created many dozens of videos that are 10 words long. Like, look at the title of this video right here. How to discipline a teenager who doesn't care about consequences. That's 10 words. So that's what you want to find. Questions that your target audience is asking that are 10 words long, start with those. How does YouTube decide what to show people in search? There are different traffic sources on YouTube. There's suggested traffic, there's browse traffic, there's external traffic, and there's search traffic. Now there's more than that, but those are the main four that I focus on. Search is typically viral traffic. Browse is a lot of times your subscribers. There is overlap between those two. External is from your website or places like Google search. And search traffic is obvious. These are people that are going to YouTube search and typing in a question or a topic of a video that they're looking for. So when you first open up YouTube and you're on the home page from the same creators or creators that are similar, YouTube's trying to predict what you're going to want to watch next and what will keep you watching the longest. But YouTube search is different. If you type in something in the search bar, YouTube really wants you to find what you're looking for. Now, in recent years, as search engines have gotten better and better, we are typing in more and more specific things. I mean, think about your last time using ChatGPT. When I used it, I typed in 3 paragraphs, something real detailed and specific, because when I do that, the results I get are way better. And search engines are using a lot of AI, and we're being way more specific with our searches because we're likely to find it. Now, if there isn't an exact match of what you're searching for, YouTube will find the next best thing. Like, well, what's the closest thing that relates to what they're searching for? Or if there are several options, like you're searching for a specific thing and there's several videos that show that, it'll show all of those listed in order. So a big reason why I want you to start with questions that are 10 words long is it's very unlikely that there are other people out there, like your competitors or something. It's very unlikely that they made a video answering that specific of a question. They're still focusing on 2-word or 3-word phrases. Maybe if they're lucky, they did 5 or 6-word phrases. But if you go after a 10-word phrase, there are people that are typing in those exact 10 words, and those people are going to find your video at the top. What do I need to optimize to make my videos rank? So you're probably wondering about the description. You've heard a lot of people say, yeah, you got to do certain things in your description. And what about the keywords field? Do you have to do other things? Do you have to share your video on Facebook or other places? The reality is, for search engine optimization, to get your video showing up at the top of search, you don't have to do any of those things. The one thing that is important is the title. So when you do this keyword research, you find this really specific question, that becomes the title of your video. You could leave the description blank. You could leave the keyword field blank, but when you record this video, if you answer that question, you're going to say all the right things. YouTube transcribes your video and it knows the words that you say in the video. You don't need to worry about keyword stuffing or anything. Just really answer that question. Give a lot of value. YouTube's going to know what your video is about, and without you having to push it or promote it or anything like that, your video will show up at the top of search. When somebody does that search and finds your video for the first time, if they watch it all the way to the end, the YouTube algorithm is going to see that and say, that search and this video, they do go together. So the next person who does that search, they're going to get that same recommendation. And if that person watches it all the way to the end, you're just locking your place in at the top of YouTube search. So on the other hand, if your content isn't really that good, if you're not the best at answering that question, YouTube will test it out and you might get a couple views initially from search, but then your video will drop down the ranking because there's other videos that answer that question better. So follow the tactics, but also answer the question, like really give value in your videos. How long does SEO take to work on YouTube? The quick answer is you can have videos ranking within a couple of days, and to dominate your space, it's only going to take a few months. This is a client that just started working with me this year. This column is showing filming dates. So there are a few videos filmed in early February, a few more in late March. And when we searched for any of these questions on YouTube, a no means we did not find Jennifer anywhere. Like, she was not ranking for any of these topics as of February 14th. But look at this, on March 11th, she had 2 yeses, which means 2 videos were ranking at the top. And then the startings means we had to scroll down a little bit, but she was ranking in the top 20. You'll see by April 18th, we had even more yeses. By May 8th, 5 yeses and 3 startings. So there are a lot of variables, the number of questions in a specific branch or category like this, and how many videos you film and how frequently you're launching your content. But with this strategy, you can be really tactical. You can map out and predict on a certain date when certain things are going to happen, and they actually happen. I want to teach you my leaf strategy. This is the strategy where you can rank number 1 on YouTube, and I've created another video right there. It's called the leaf strategy, how to rank number 1. Definitely go watch that video next.